Conor McGregor, the wealthiest fighter in MMA history. $600 million, luxury yachts, proper 12 whiskey, and superstar status. But what if I told you that behind all this glamour lies a disaster? Divorces, lawsuits, scandals, and perhaps the most spectacular downfall in sports history. Why has UFC lost faith in him? Where did all his money go? And most importantly, can he ever make a comeback? This video reveals the brutal truth about what really happened to Conor McGregor after the millions. Conor McGregor didn't just make $600 million. He staged a full-blown feast of vanity, where every dollar screamed about his status as the king of MMA. His 63-meter yacht, the 188, worth $3.6 million, became a symbol of an era of excess, with $500,000 a year spent just on its maintenance. His collection of rare Patek Philippe and Audemars Piguet watches, especially the legendary $1.5 million Rainbow, turned into a meme among fans. A $20 million Cessna Citation Longitude private jet, dozens of luxury cars, including a $500,000 Lamborghini Aventador and a $250,000 Bentley Continental GT. None of it was an investment, just expensive toys. But in 2021, the countdown began. The sale of Proper 12, the project McGregor once called his legacy, was the first warning sign. Instead of the promised $600 million in profits, the brand went to Beckel, the owners of Jose Cuervo, for just $175 million, with Conor himself receiving only a portion of that sum. Wine market experts openly stated, "This is a failure. Proper 12 never competed with top brands. It was only bought by McGregor's fans." And then came the fateful fight with Poirier. A broken leg in the third round didn't just knock him out. It exposed the whole truth about the new McGregor. Instead of rehabilitation, endless yacht parties in Spain. Instead of training, Instagram posts with bottles of fine wine. Even his coach, John Kavanagh, admitted he's no longer hungry. The binge lasted for months. Scandals at the Dubliner bar where he punched a DJ. Accusations of assaulting Italian DJ Francesco Facchinetti. Bizarre videos with wet pants in a nightclub. All of it painted the picture of a man who had lost control of his own life. Financial analysts calculated, with expenses of at least $50 million a year, even $600 million could evaporate within 7 to 10 years, especially considering the lawsuits. For example, the 2021 sexual assault case, later dismissed, but the reputational damage remained, and constant payouts from settlements, such as $900,000 to the mother of a child he fought with in a bar. The UFC, which once promoted him as the face of the company, quietly stepped back. In 2023, Dana White didn't even include him in the list of potential title contenders. The irony of fate? McGregor, who made $180 million from just the Mayweather fight, now risks repeating the path of Mike Tyson, a legend who squandered $400 million. But unlike Tyson, Conor doesn't even have a chance at a comeback. His body, wrecked by injuries and alcohol, can no longer perform at the elite level of MMA. Conor McGregor's legal troubles turned into a true nightmare, finally shattering his image as the king of the octagon. It all began with lawsuits from former friends and partners, the very people who once called themselves his closest team. For example, Artem Lobov, his longtime sparring partner and friend, filed a lawsuit claiming that McGregor never paid him the promised $1 million for helping him prepare for the fight with Khabib. McGregor's former bodyguard also alleged $100,000 in unpaid wages, and that was just the tip of the iceberg. But the real blow to his reputation came from sexual misconduct allegations. In 2021, A woman in Ireland filed a police report claiming that McGregor raped her in a hotel. Although the case was eventually closed due to lack of evidence, the shadow remained. On social media, old videos quickly resurfaced where Conor boasted, "I know how to handle women. I've had hundreds of them." The UFC, which had previously turned a blind eye to his antics, this time publicly distanced themselves for the first time in 10 years. McGregor didn't receive a single post on the league's official pages on his birthday. Drunken scandals became his new calling card. In 2022, a video of Conor in wet pants screaming at a bartender in Dublin went viral worldwide. A month later, he started a fight with an Italian DJ, throwing a glass at him. He had to pay $10,000 to avoid criminal charges. But the most telling moment happened backstage at UFC 264. A drunken McGregor, barely standing on his broken leg, shouted at Dana White, demanding an immediate rematch with Poirier. Eyewitnesses later said it was pathetic. He smelled of alcohol, and in his eyes, only anger and emptiness. Dana White, who once called Conor UFC's greatest asset, now speaks about him through gritted teeth. In an ESPN interview, when asked about McGregor's potential return, he replied coldly, "We work with athletes. If a guy hasn't stepped into the octagon for 3 years and acts like a clown, he's an entertainer, not a fighter." Behind the scenes, according to insiders, UFC has already written Conor off. His name isn't even mentioned in planning meetings for future main events. The final blow? In 2023, ESPN removed McGregor from the top 10 most popular fighters, even though just 2 years ago, he was in first place. The irony is that Conor himself seems oblivious to how far he's fallen. His latest social media posts showcase flashy luxury, a new yacht, $2 million watches, and aggressive tirades against former colleagues. But the numbers speak for themselves. In 2023, his earnings dropped by 80%, and endorsement deals, aside from dubious crypto projects, have all but dried up. Even his fans are now writing, "Where's the old Conor? The one who knocked out Aldo in 13 seconds?" The sad answer, that Conor is gone. Only a shadow remains, surrounded by lawyers, debts, and bottles of expensive whiskey. Conor McGregor's financial collapse is unfolding at a frightening pace, and experts warn that if he doesn't change course, his legendary $600 million could turn to dust faster than he can spend it. According to financial analysts who have studied his expenses, McGregor loses around $40 to $50 million a year. And that's only the officially documented spending. His MMA king lifestyle demands insane investments. Maintaining his yacht costs $2 million annually. His collection of 12 luxury cars eats up another $1.5 million in insurance and upkeep. And his infamous monthly splurges in Dubai or Saint-Tropez can easily drain $500,000 at a time. McGregor's investments have turned out to be catastrophically unsuccessful. Beyond the failure of Proper 12, he poured millions into dubious startups. For example, the betting app DualBits, which faced fraud allegations, and the cryptocurrency Conor Coin, which plummeted 98% in a month. His Dublin bar, the Black Forge Inn, bought for $3 million, barely breaks even. And his attempt to launch the fashion line August McGregor failed with a $12 million loss. McGregor's financial advisor, fired in 2022, told The Sun he refused to listen to warnings. Every time we showed him the numbers, he'd reply, "I'll make another $100 million in the next fight." But no new fights, and consequently, no big money, are in sight. After breaking his leg in 2021, McGregor spent only 4 minutes in the octagon, losing to Poirier. Tired of waiting for his return, UFC removed him from the lightweight rankings. Even if he suddenly fights in 2024, experts predict a payday of just 10 to 15 million, 5 times less than his bout with Poirier. Endorsement deals are shrinking as well. Monster Energy and Reebok cut ties back in 2022, and new brands are offering sums 10 times smaller than before. Even his Instagram, which once earned $1 million per post, now monetizes 4 times worse. Audiences have grown tired of his drunken antics and empty promises. Injuries and lack of discipline are finishing off his career. UFC doctors noted in a confidential report, the condition of his right leg is concerning. A re-injury could leave him disabled. Former coaches say Conor hasn't attended full training sessions for 2 years, preferring show sparring in front of cameras. His last endurance test in 2023 showed results worse than 40-year-old veterans. The most telling fact? In January 2024, McGregor refused an unscheduled USADA drug test, reportedly out of fear that it would reveal cocaine and anabolic steroids. His current net worth is estimated at $200 to $250 million, and it's shrinking every month. In 2021, he ranked 35th on the list of the world's richest athletes. Now, he doesn't even make the top 100. Irish banks are already requiring collateral for loans, and 3 of his 5 houses are mortgaged. As financial analysts grimly joke, he's following Mike Tyson's path, but twice as fast. And the scariest part, unlike Tyson, Conor lacks the movie star charisma and public love needed for a second chance. His legacy is rapidly turning into a cautionary tale of how one can squander not only money, but fame, respect, and their own future. So what happened to Conor McGregor? He became a hostage of his own success. Money, fame, and impunity destroyed him. And now, as the UFC moves on without him and fans laugh at his drunken antics, the chances of a legendary comeback are slim. The only question left? Will he realize it before he's left with absolutely nothing?